Today we're going to spend a little bit of time working with subtracting across zeros. This was something we worked a little bit with first quarter, and it was a difficult skill for us, so today it is our first day of track out practice. So I'm going to run through two different problems with you here in a second, and you can, if you want to grab a scrap of paper and a pencil, work them out with me, or you can just watch me work out these two, kind of keep track of what's going on, and then down below this video there are 8 problems you can practice, and below the 8 problems there's another video which shows you the solution where I work out the problems and you can check your work and check your answers. So one of the real difficult things about subtracting across zeros is the fact that when you start subtracting, you always learn to work your problems right to left. And looking at this problem, when you go and you start trying to work it out right to left, there's nothing to subtract, because we all know you can't subtract 0 from 5. You go to borrow, there's nothing. So what I actually do is I actually work the problems a little bit backwards to start. And I like to do a lot of prep work with these, so to speak, before I actually work it out. So I'm going to start with my 4, knowing that I have all these zeros that I'm going to have to borrow in order to subtract. And I'm going to start here, go ahead, and I'm going to change this to a 3 just to start with and get that out of the way, which means that this 0 then turns to a 10, but remember that you have to borrow all the way across. So you're going to take the 10, you make it a 9, that's a 10, becomes a 9, and then that becomes a 10. So when you're subtracting across zeros, really, you're changing your number that is the furthest to the left of the zeros down. You're changing the numbers in the middle, if you're subtracting across several zeros, into 9s, and then your last number will be a 10. So it'll look kind of like this. Okay? Then once you have this done, now you can go ahead, you can subtract, and the problem becomes a lot easier. So you can do 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 1 is 8, 9 minus 6 is 3, and then 3 minus 3 is 0, so I can leave it there. Remember that you can take your numbers, and since subtraction, its inverse operation is addition, I can take them, I can add them back, and I should get the 4,000 if I want to check my work. So 5 plus 5 is 0, carry my 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 8 is a 10, bring my 1 back up again, 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 3 is another 10, and then 1 plus 3 is 4, so I end up getting 4,000, so my correct answer is 385 for my difference there. Again, worked it out, and check my answer. Okay, same with this one then. So remember, your natural instinct is to work the problem from right to left, and you gotta set that aside for right now. So we're going to start off on our left side. We're going to mark this down 1. Remember, we start changing our numbers, so when we borrow from the 8, we make it a 7. This becomes a 10, but then remember we have to borrow all the way across. So then this becomes a 10, or we have to keep borrowing, and then that becomes a 10. So again, it's the same pattern going across with the numbers borrowing. So that 1's always going to end up a 10. That's the only 10 you should have, is in the 1's place value. So you have 10 minus 8 is 2, 9 minus 6 is 3, 9 minus 4 is 5, and then your 7 and 7 are 0. Remember that, again, because it's an inverse operation, I should be able to take them, I should be able to add them back together. This time I should get 8,000. So 8 plus 2 is 10. 1 plus 6 is 7. Plus 0, or plus 3 is 10. I'm getting ahead of myself. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then carry my 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. So again, I checked it. So I got 8,000 back. So my final answer for this one, my difference is 532. So below there are 8 problems for you guys to work on, to practice, and then below that there are there is a short video where I work out the 8 problems, and you guys can check your work. I hope you're having a great checkout, and I will see you back again tomorrow.